Our journey took us on to Santiago de Compostela, the end of the pilgrims line, and we stayed at the Circuitel just outside the town. Circuitel in Santiago de Compostela, and we're in a junior suite, and each suite has its own little garage. And an entrance at the back, and the light. We go up the stairs to the living room. And through from the living room to a little patio. The garden. And then up more stairs to the bedroom. The next day, it's checked into Santiago in the cathedral, St. James. I was thrilled by this. And it's freezing cold. The main square outside the cathedral, and there's the Parador, which we could have stayed at for 500 euros a night. But instead we're at the Circuitel at 97 euros a night. However, the Parador was obviously very comfortable, and we did manage to have lunch there both days that we were in the town looking at the cathedral. Work on the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela was started in 1075. Santiago is St. James, who was related to Jesus Christ and whose remains were buried in the area. And Compostela means Field of the Star. The facade that you see was in fact built in the 18th century. Outside in the square were a number of pilgrims finding it rather chilly like us. Next, a visit to the museum, where we were able to climb up to an area where you could see both the rooftops of the surrounding city and also look down onto the pilgrims that we had just seen, who were still sitting in the square and deciding what to do next. Perhaps some of them were tourists. Linda has disappeared at the end of the corridor, but no, she's just hiding behind a pillar. Inside the cathedral, one of the main features is the Bottifumerio, which is only used on important feast days. And you're about to see a little video of how it operates. 8 monks have to pull the ropes in order to get it to work. Another interesting feature is the electronic candle lighter, where you put your €2 in and a candle lights up. We were lucky enough to arrive at the start of the service, and those feathers you can see sticking up belong to a Mexican group, who seem to be the guests of the day. So after the service, they came out of the church playing their conch shells and guitars. And not far away is a wee Scots lad playing his pipes and hoping to earn some money, which he did for us. And of course the dancer was accompanying him. We then went back into the church after the service. 2 hours since the service. And had a look at the altar, which was fantastically ornate and quite beautiful. It shows St. James and various other figures. That's where we saw the service being taken this morning. We were on the left side. This was the oldest part of the cathedral. It was started in 1100, approximately. There we have Grandma on her earphone. The door, you see, was used on special occasions to process into the church when the Archbishop was around. And then we had a quiet coffee at a cafe, and then dinner in the evening at Barolo, where we had a whole grouper each, which included the head and tail. It was quite tasty, but rather a lot to eat. And then the following day, it was off to Santander.